Hello everyone, and welcome back for another episode of My Chaotic Budget. My name is Sandra, and on this channel we do all things budget related as it pertains to mine and my husband's paychecks. And in this episode, I'm going to go ahead and transition my budget from my mini budget planner right here to my traveler's notebook. I'm going to go ahead and do that today because I want to. So we're going to go ahead and get into the budget for the last paycheck of September. So if we take a look here, we got our last paycheck coming up on September 24th. And this is the plan. And all I did was pretty much transfer over and change a couple of things into my traveler's notebook, which I'm absolutely loving. I have been flip-flopping a lot lately, and I think it's just because I'm trying to find my groove, but it's just like my ledger. Before the ledger, I was going back and forth between different ways of tracking my expenses, but I found something that I have been the most consistent with, and because of that, it was all due to trial and error. And that's why I probably won't change to anything. I mean, if they made a ledger book in traveler notebook size, that's probably the only way that I would change. Because I really don't want to go in and write in all of this on its own. I already like the way that it's set up. And it works really well for me. But if they had it in a traveler's notebook with the same things, oh my. You know, I'd go and buy it like yesterday. Okay, so here we are. Here is our budget for the last check of September. Let me go ahead and zoom y'all in. Okay, so this is what we're expecting to get for my husband's check. Now, I get paid on the same day, but that check is actually going to go towards the beginning of October. So that's why for right now, this is going to be considered the last check for September. So right here, you'll see pay date. That'll be on Wednesday, the 24th. My husband should be bringing in about $1,852.79. And these are the bills that we have. So I do not count any rollover yet. I just base it off of what we have expected to come in. So as far as the bills are concerned, we have Old Navy coming up. Target would have been due, so it is paid off, so there's nothing here. Pet insurance is coming up. The light bill is coming up, which I think it might be slightly under, which is really good because I think because the cooler weather is starting to come in, our air condition isn't having to work as hard. Our Spectrum internet bill is coming in as well. Sony, my husband canceled it because we got YouTube Premium. And so now that we have YouTube Premium, we don't pay Sony anymore. So it was kind of like a give and take thing. If we give up on Sony, we can go ahead and take on YouTube Premium. And also Best Buy is not due until October 13th. That's when its due date is. Let me just double check on my calendar. Yes, so it is not due until October 13th, and you can see it right here. So what I'm thinking about doing, since this will be the first time that I'm collecting money for it, I may end up putting it in the high yield savings account under extra debt, because I do have a bucket for that. So I think that's what I might end up doing, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. Okay, so all of these bills then add up to $568, leaving us with $1,284.79 to budget. And we do have a zero-based budget, so every dollar has a job. And so the next section that we get into when it comes to my own personal budgeting for our family is savings and sinking funds. Extra debt, I always give $30 from every paycheck, so that would go towards Best Buy. Yearly fee is going to go into our wallet for, well, not our wallet, our binder, our sinking funds binder, and we're going to put $25 in for that. Emergency cash is going to get $100. Our high yield savings account is going to get its usual $85. And then our debt snowball for Target, because remember Target is paid off, is $40. So we have that coming up. That means I'm going to put the 30 and the 40 that would be for Best Buy into the extra debt bucket until it's time to pay it. So that's $70 that would be holding, because I'm not ready to make a payment towards Best Buy yet. I want to kind of see where the numbers fall first. Okay. And then the last thing that I have here for savings and sinking funds is I'd like to put $100 towards Halloween. I know that I do plan on buying some things for the house. I do plan on buying some things for my students at work because I am a teacher, and I do like to get them some things sometimes, or I like to decorate the classroom. And of course, they don't give us money for that, so it has to come out of my own personal money. So I'm going to try to put some money aside for that. And then all of these add up to $380, which leaves us with $904.79 to budget. And like I said, we are a zero-based budget, so every single one of these dollars is going to have a place. Now, groceries and dining out lately have been combined as food. So any food that we need to buy is going to come out of these two categories right here, which is groceries for $450 and dining out for $200. But we do have a busy week coming up, so this may end up being just between the two, probably more dining out than anything. Then, of course, gas. This is to fill up my vehicle. My vehicle is currently sitting at 3/4 of a tank, so I'm okay. But I know my husband hasn't really filled up his truck recently, so he may need to fill it up. So that's why I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and push for a little bit of a bigger number. And that leaves us with only $154.79 with spending. Now, we may have a significant amount of rollover because of my husband's bonus, but that money is going to kind of like sit in the account as a buffer. It's kind of like how I'm thinking about it now, because I want to make sure that we're not put into a situation where we are lacking for money and then we have to pull from one of our credit cards. So that's my plan. That's my thought process. I don't know how well it's going to work because we've never been able to have that big of a buffer in our account. But I think I feel more comfortable having that buffer and just kind of seeing how it works out. I may end up putting it into the same savings account for that bank account instead of like the high yield savings account. I know it doesn't gain as much interest, but it moves a lot quicker into our savings account, like within minutes of me doing the transaction. And so if we need to do that, I'd like to be able to have quick access to the money instead of waiting 2 or 3 days in the high yield savings account. So if it's our buffer, it's going to sit in the account like that. And I know I want to build up interest. I really, really do. But at the same time, I'm just kind of like worried that if we don't have that money sitting in there and we need it and we're not able to access it right away. But then I'm also like sitting on the other side of the fence where it's like, oh, but you have money. Oh, well, then just spend it. And that's where it's like, oh, it's really the devil and the angel on the shoulders, trying to guide my decision making. And I'm just hoping and I pray to God that he helps me make the right decisions. Because of course we are on our debt-free journey without hurting ourselves, psychologically. Because debt can really play a toll on your mindset. But that's a whole nother topic for another video. Okay, well, that's it. That's all I have for this. Thank you for being here for our budget with me. So we'll check back in to see how our budget closeout goes for the previous paycheck on September 10th, as well as checking to see what the plan is. I did recently do my video for Q4, so if you haven't checked that out, please check it out. I really, really, really would like to have some support here. And then we're going to see how we did for the whole month of September. All right, guys. Well, that's all I've got. Thank you for being here. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out some fellow budgeters. I'm going to leave just some names in the description. Check them out if you haven't checked them out before. Some of them are new, some of them have been around for a while, but yes, I appreciate everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.